I'd just like to say good morning to those of you joining us on Zoom. We're going to get started here in about 3 minutes. So until then, feel free to talk among yourselves. I will ask you once our meeting starts, if everyone could mute themselves, that would be great.
Got a visitor this morning. Good morning, handsome. What's going on? Yes, you are on camera.
Ian, if you can still hear me, where are we streaming live on Facebook?
We're streaming live to the FOVEC page, Facebook page.
Excellent.
So Keith, are you seeing that people want to be admitted?
Yeah, and I'm bringing them in.
All right.
All right. By my clock, it's 8:30, and so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome everyone. My name's Keith Walter. I'm the president of FOVEC. With me this morning, I've got Nan Danford and Mike Aho, who are going to be live from the field in Fair Oaks Village. And with no further ado, what I'd like to do is kick it over to Nan to walk you through kind of where we're going to be a little later today.
All right. Thank you so much, Keith. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Fair Oaks Village Enhancement Committee's live village update that we've been doing monthly for over 2 years now to just bring you updates of what's going on in the village and events coming up. And I'm really excited today to bring you to our Vibes in the Village, formerly Music at Mike's new venue. We are going to be at the Coffee House and Deli this evening for live music, and there will be beer and wine and soft drinks served, as well as a full menu here at the deli. You can still also get to-go food at your favorite local village restaurant and bring it here and enjoy the music. A couple of things to note. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see actually where we will be. So here we are on the outdoor patio of the deli. You can see the chairs and tables are set up, so no need to bring chairs and blankets today because it will all be provided. This is their back kind of bar area, and this is where we will be serving the food and the beverages. You'll actually be able to order and they'll bring the food out to you. And the band will be set up out by the palm tree here. And we'll be rearranging things a little bit so there's room for dancing, as we know it gets a little bit lively later on. But this will be a great venue for the event this time. A little more intimate setting. The event is free, as always. We do ask for donations to help us pay for the band because that's how we keep these events coming. But oh, look, there's someone up on the rooftop. I'm sure we'll have the chickens visiting us as well this evening as we enjoy the music here at the Fair Oaks Coffee House and Deli. They're always so gracious allowing us to use their venue and helping provide us with what we need to make the event happen. So that's what's happening tonight. Keith is going to explain how you find out more about that while I head up to interview our next village business.
Thank you, Nan. Give me just a moment here, and hopefully you're all now seeing the FOVAC home site. And the reason that I wanted to take just a minute today is because there's a lot going on in the village these days between the park construction and the new businesses and the events that are being staged. And it can be difficult sometimes to know where to find the latest information or how to get your questions answered. And so this morning I wanted to just kind of very briefly give you the highlights of where that information is always available. The FOVAC website, which is easiest to find by just typing FOVAC into any browser, starts with this upcoming events. This is where we would ask you to RSVP or for the events that cost money, go ahead and purchase your tickets in advance. Nan was talking about the event this evening, which we call Vibes in the Village, which, it's easy to click down and see a little bit more information. It's easy to RSVP. And, this is where we always try and provide you the latest information for what we're sponsoring in the village. The thing, though, that I wanted to highlight is up here at the top, there's this thing called calendar. And the calendar is our way of trying to help you stay organized for everything that's happening in Fair Oaks. And it's actually organized, by day with all of the activities that are taking place, not only by us, but by others in the community. And if you click on any one of them, you can get more information. And if you happen to be a Google user, you not only can get more information, you can add it directly to your Google Calendar so that you don't forget about it. And with that, Nan, have you made it up to Gion's?
Ready to go. So
You're on. And Nan, you're muted if you can hear me.
okay, sorry about that. So I wanted to point out his board out here where he lists the community runs. Gian, the owner of Wild Runners, will be going inside and interviewing him, and he'll tell us more about that. Good morning, Gian. I'm doing great. How are you? Let's turn it around. And oh, actually, I'll just leave it this way. And, all right, so here we are at Wild Runners. It's the running store here in Fair Oaks Village. And this is John. He is the owner. And he's brought a lot of great things to the village with his runs. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've got going on?
We try to encourage the village to be more active. So by inviting to go for a run on Tuesdays and Saturdays. On Tuesday, everybody's invited. We run like 2, 4, 6 miles. And if you are a runner, you can join us. You can be a walker. Saturdays a little longer, more like pro runners. We go like 10 miles plus.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's welcome to join us and run. The main issue is like just go for a run, stay active, and that's what we want to do.
So when are the runs on Thursday? What time do they start?
Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. We meet in the village, in the store, then we go and do a little warm-up, well, in the park, somewhere else. After the run, sometimes we're going to have some beers, have some coffee, try to stay local with the other business to help each other. On Saturdays, we start at 7 a.m. As well here in the shop, and then we head to the American River, and we just go there.
Go on the parkway then?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about what you offer here in the store too.
So we have different brands that you don't find somewhere else. Like for example, we have actually transmitted in Italy. You can see like made in Italy.
Oh, yeah.
We have brands made in Kenya. We have a 3D scanner here. So basically, if you want to stand up there, the scanner will take about 600 pictures per second and will tell me what shoe is good for you. The same thing in the upper end, we try to get more like the European brands that you're gonna find somewhere else. Know your traditional shoes, like your Nike or Adidas. You want to stay away from that, and make shoes that actually gonna work for you. Yeah, pretty much is
Very
what
good.
we do.
And I see you have flip flops even for summer wear. And I know that I have purchased clothes here for my daughter and family members as gifts for the holidays. It's got a great selection of clothing and stuff and bringing people to the village. So thank you so much, John, for talking with us this morning. And if you're into running or walking, come out for either the Thursday run or the Saturday run. All right, Keith, back to you.
Thank you, Nan. I know that the sound on that was not as clear as everyone would like, but please, Gian is a wonderful new addition to our village. If you are a runner or a walker, I would encourage you to go down and meet him in person, and I'm sure he would be happy to walk you through what's available in the store. Sort of in that vein, we have a lot of great merchants, and I think it's easy because not all of them have huge signs out in front of their places, that to just recognize that one of the other things that we do to try and help you find all of the people who make the village special is on our website up at the top, we have something called our village guide. And I just happened to pull up the page that shows what are the shopping opportunities. And so we try to make it easy for you to find what are the village businesses and how to contact them, and if they have websites where you can get more information. So I would encourage you. If you haven't explored our website, there's a lot of information out there. I'd be remiss if I didn't, also bring up our sponsors and point out that all of this is brought to you by your generous donations and our sponsors who fund all of the activities that we do. Nan is busy making her way to our next visit in the village this morning, and I'm going to use that as an opportunity to go back to our home page and highlight the next thing below events, which are what we refer to as the forum or recent forum posts. And down here, we try to do kind of little snippets of news, almost like a bulletin board. And so one of the most recent additions to this is a brief article about another community activity that started recently, and that's group bike rides that are taking place out of the biker bar. And again, this is always available online, so if you miss these updates or if you want more details, you just have to go to our website and it'll provide you with kind of a brief update on what's happening and contact information. And Nan, I'm hoping that I've given you enough time to make your way over to the biker bar and that you're ready to go.
Well, I'm here, but Michelle is not. So I guess we'll just.
We're ready. So Nan, if you want us to kind of transition while you're waiting, we can do that.
Why don't we do that? Let's head to Mike in the park and then we'll come back to the biker bar.
Sounds great, Mike.
All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm out here at Fair Oaks and I'm at the Village Plaza Park. And right behind me are some banners. And in the background, you're probably hearing a lot of construction noise. So I'm going to try and be loud while we're here, but you might get some distraction. So anyway, here's the banners that we have. And these banners have pictures, renderings of the project. They have the drawing of the project. And they also have a QR code on the bottom. You can get an update on the projects and the progress of those projects. Now, they also will link you to a live camera that we have 2 live cameras here in the park. And those cameras, you can look at a still shot or you can look at a time lapse and see things that have happened in the past up to the future, or up to the present, not the future. It'd be cool if we had a future camera. We don't have one. So anyway, that's what we have out here. Now I want to look behind me here, and I want you to see what's going on. There's a lot of construction here. This is actually a water line replacement. Now this project is being done by the Fair Oaks Water District, and it's in cooperation with us. So what happened is we're able to move the water line out of the park, back out to the road right of way. So if it does have problems, we don't have to tear up the park in the future. Now, the other part about this, which was very important, is that the pipe that was in the park was an asbestos line pipe. Those pipes are no longer allowed. And so we're able to upgrade the water system for Fair Oaks in this part of the Fair Oaks Water District. We'll also be hooking up the businesses like the Brew Pub, Wild Rooster, the salons, and the Fair Oaks office building to a new water line that's coming in. So it's a wonderful addition for the village. It should be finishing up here in about another week. And they're doing a temporary patches or fill in the road. And then in about another 12 months, we'll be coming through and tearing this all up again. And we'll be resurfacing the entire surface of the road all the way around the park. So we will have a new road here in the village. So with that, Keith, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you, Mike. The amount of activity that's taking place right now in the village, I think, is unprecedented, and it can be a little overwhelming if you're walking or driving through the village right now because of all the construction and activity that's taking place. I would just remind all of you that we still have a lot of merchants down there whose livelihoods depend on you continuing to visit the village. And I'm hopeful that you will overlook the construction and the parking challenges and continue to patronize all of the merchants and restaurants and bars that depend on you continuing to visit them as we get through this period. We're all excited about what it's going to look like when it's done, but in the meantime, it's going to be a little bit challenging. Nan, I see that you're still waiting for Michelle. So I think what we're going to do is probably.
Michelle just arrived. She's here. So if you give me like 30, I think she's getting out of her car right now. So.
All right, I'm going to go ahead if I can and see if I can bring it. Well, I'll kick it over to you and let you talk with Michelle since she's there with you right now.
All right, here I am at the Biker Bar in Fair Oaks Village with Michelle. And so the Biker Bar has a weekly, are they weekly rides?
No, right now it's once a month. We started having a Monday, the first Monday of the month, ride starting here at the Biker Bar. Right now we're starting at 7:30 a.m. because the weather has been really hot. And we're riding around Sacramento County, Placer County, Colorado Hills. It's a road bike ride group, maybe, 6. We hope to get up to like 10, 12, 20 people maybe someday. But we just started with the one day a month. And sometimes we're on the bike trails and sometimes we're on the roads. And we have a really good time, fun, friendship, and we just have a great time. Love to have more people show up.
And it's what a perfect thing to do too, because we are so close to the bike trail, the American River Bike Trail that goes from Fulton downtown. And it's a fabulous ride. And to be able to have a resource like you guys in the village is really, really amazing. So
yes. And we're trying to bring more people, I participate in a lot of different bike clubs, Sacramento, Placer, and El Dorado counties, but there's never been any place, right here in Fair Oaks. I live in Fair Oaks, and it's a central location right near the bike trail. And, we will cater to whatever level you are. We have lots of stops. We don't drop anyone. We'll always make sure everyone stays with the group. We can stop for water, for chatting, coffee. So the difficulty of the ride probably just will depend on the participants. So,
And so when you have the rides, is there somewhere where people can find out what the ride is going to be for that time? Do you pre-plan that, or is that
yes,
okay?
We have a route, usually a route already planned out, and the shop sends out an email blast.
Okay.
So it's important to get on the shop's email blast list through their email or call the shop and get on the list. And so they'll advertise probably maybe a week in advance, and sometimes it might not be, maybe just a few days in advance of the ride, just depending on how organized we are. And you'll be able to see the route, and you'll be able to know if it's something that you want to go on or not go on. And they'll have all the information popped out in
Awesome.
those blasts.
And so the Biker Bar too, they've been here for over a year now. And can you tell a little bit about what kind of bikes they have and kind of the other things that they're doing?
Yeah. Well, Adaman started out, he was just selling Scott brand road bikes. And I mostly know the road bikes. I do ride mountain bikes too, but Scott brand was the brand that he was selling. And then with COVID and everything that happened, I think he had difficulty getting enough bikes to sell. And so he still sells Scott, but then I think he started selling Cannondale road bikes also. And then he has lots of mountain bikes and various different brands of mountain bikes and some e-bikes and just some all around road riding, fun riding bikes. So, and all the equipment you might need and clothing and nice kit with his name on it. And so, yeah, full service, great service department, parts, bikes. And I can't say enough about Adaman's service and how he caters to his customers. It's a great shop.
I think it's awesome that they do offer such variety. And the other thing that they do periodically, he doesn't have one planned now, but when I talked to him yesterday, they offer classes on how to do maintenance on your bike. So those of us who ride bikes, your chain falls off or you get a flat or whatever, he teaches you how to maintain your bike, keep it in great working order. And so if you want to know more about bikes, come down here to Biker Bar, or better yet, get on their email blast and come down and go for a ride the first Monday of the month.
Yes, and it's mostly just fun.
All right.
This coming Monday, the 1st, we'll be riding out of here, 7:30 a.m. So come out and join us and meet new people.
Do you know what the route is this time?
I have it in my mind. I think I want to go to El Dorado Hills.
Okay.
So it might be a little bit hilly, but not too much.
And so how long will that ride probably take?
Usually it's a couple hours, 2 to 2.5,
Okay.
sometimes 3, depending on the mileage.
Okay. Awesome. Well,
All right.
thank you so much,
Thank
Michelle,
you.
for being so
Great.
helpful.
Uh-huh.
Back
Bye-bye.
to you, Keith.
Thank you. And I'm so happy because as a biker, it's wonderful to see us really taking advantage of Fair Oaks Village's access to the American River Trail and the great, off-road riding that we can do in this area. And so thank you for helping us bring that highlight to the village once again. Mike, I'm going to kick it back to you, and those of you who are live on our Zoom call this morning. Once Mike finishes up with this section, I will unmute everyone so that if you have questions, you'll be able to ask them. For those of you watching on Facebook Live or elsewhere, I would encourage you to post your comments and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Mike, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Keith. I'm out here now on the other side of the park, and behind me is the band shell. And what you can see or not see anymore is the retention wall. It may get a little noisy because they're jackhammering some stuff out of here. And what we're seeing overall here in the park is our demolition stage of this project. And this demolition stage goes pretty quick. So it's going to look like this thing is moving very fast. And it is up to this point. I'm hoping you can still hear me. But once we start the construction part, everything's going to seem like it's going to slow down. But it's harder to build a building than it is to tear one down. And it takes a lot less resources to tear things out than it does to build them. So it's going to look a little slower in the months ahead, but we are moving fast. We're on schedule and everything's great. When this is all done behind me, we'll have a brand new wall that'll last for generations. When we took the wall out, there was just rock and dirt and no rebar. So it was a risk factor that we needed to take care of. We had no engineering plans for that wall when we took it out. And so it was, I guess, a blessing for all of us to have a brand new retaining wall behind the band shell. And with that, Keith, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Thank you, Mike. So before we wrap up, the one question that I wanted to kind of come back to is, Mike, you know, one of the questions that I know I always get asked, I'm sure you always get asked, is, are we on schedule? Do we have kind of a best guess for when the park will be available? Is that something that you're comfortable talking about today?
Yeah, you know, Keith, yes, I can. We are on schedule right now. We're actually slightly ahead. It's still really early in the project and we haven't had weather yet. You know, weather's going to affect us as we go into this. And I'll talk more about some of the weather issues a little bit later today in this production. But right now we're on schedule and we're scheduled still to be done in December of 2023. So my last day that I saw was December 23rd, 2023. So just before Christmas, but that date's constantly moving around as the project progresses.
Thanks, Mike. So we're going to come back to Mike to wrap this up and to help us answer any questions that you may have. Before we do that, one last thing that I'd like to share with all of you is, and I'm going to hopefully be able to share the screen one more time, is one of the other features that we have is, well, of course, there are the stories, and those of you who get our newsletter know that the stories are a little bit longer, in-depth look at some of the people and activities in the village. Recently, for example, highlighting the passing of FOVAC, one of the FOVAC founders, Barry Brown. But what I wanted to focus on today is this feature called Groups. And Groups is kind of our way of discussing issues. And many of you have recently noticed that we've raised the topic of the Fair Oaks Fiesta, which I'm not a long-term Fair Oaks resident, but everyone I know who has been here longer than me just talks so fondly of how important the Fiesta was and what wonderful childhood memories they have. And so we're seeking public input. We're looking for, does it make sense to bring it back to the village? Does it make sense to try and bring it back during construction? Do we open the format back up to make it more like it used to be, a multi-day event? Those are the kinds of things that we're seeking your input on. And we'll help take that to the chamber and other community partners to share with them what we learn and hopefully do something that the whole village can be proud of. And with that, Mike, I think what we'd like to do is let you make any closing comments. We'll open it up to any questions people have, and then we'll call it a wrap.
Hey, thanks, Keith. Yeah, so I'm out here now by the parking lots, and I want to make this kind of major announcement about the parking spots. If you look over here on the far side of the park, where the playground used to be, if you're familiar with that, there's a parking area with about 12 spots. We're closing that parking area on Monday. And then Tuesday, we're probably closing this parking area right here, another 7 spots. And then on Wednesday, we'll be closing the entire parking area in front of the clubhouse. This closure is going to last up to 4 months. While we get the asphalt taken out of here, we get the new curbing put in, and we get the new surface put in. Now, this parking will actually increase the number that we currently have. So when we open it back up, we will have more parking. The reason we're doing it right now is because we want to be ahead of the rainy season. If we get stuck on this during the rainy season, we'll have water flow issues that'll impact the park, that'll stop the project and get us back behind. If we get caught in that kind of weather, which could happen, then we will be a slowed project. So this will be nice. The pavement replacement will actually be pervious pavement, which is pavement that allows water to absorb through. That allows us to retain our stormwater on site, which is part of our project, and gives us the opportunity to kind of be site neutral with stormwater. So anyway, these parking areas are going to close. It's going to impact everybody. And I hope that we're all patient and tolerant of that kind of work. So Keith, that was the big announcement I needed to share today.
So Mike, I certainly appreciate you sharing that this morning. I'm confident that we will get feedback from people, if not today, then over the coming days on that. What would you suggest is the best way if people have questions or would like further clarification to get information?
Again, using those QR codes or going to our website is the best way. The other thing, if you don't want to do that or it doesn't answer your question, feel free to contact the Park District at 916-966-1036, or you can email us. All that information is on our website, and you can get a hold of us through that. If you have some wonderful ideas about how to make the impact of closing these parking areas less, I'd love to hear that. We have thought long and hard and worked hard to really reduce the impact, and hopefully it won't be as impactful as it possibly could be.
Okay, thank you. So we've got about 9 people on our Zoom call this morning. At this point, I would encourage any of you who have questions, go ahead and unmute yourself and speak up. For those of you who are watching us via Facebook or will watch this later in any of the replay media that we support, please use our Facebook page, our website, or as Mike said, if it's a park-specific question, reach out to the Park District directly in order to get your questions answered. We try to be as open and transparent as possible so that the community can stay informed during this period. We all understand it's going to be difficult. We try to stay focused on what a wonderful environment it's going to be when it's done. So with that, is there anyone who is live today who has a question or a comment that they'd like to make? It appears that...
Yeah, I think I've got
Go
one.
Yes, please.
You know, the sidewalk in front of the brew pub going down towards the village, is that going to be upgraded as well? I'm just wondering, it's across from the park, you know, that sidewalk that you have to walk on going to the brew pub or to the other restaurants there, because that's kind of hard to walk on. I think it has a lot of problems, you know.
Yeah, you know, I can address that. Yeah, it is a challenging sidewalk. It does not meet ADA requirements, and it doesn't have to right now because it hasn't been modified, or there has been no modifications in front of it. That is outside of our scope. We cannot actually work on private property, that would be private property, because it is a bond funded or public funded project. So we have to stay within the public domain on that. But I believe it's someday, you know, as things progress over time, that sidewalk will have some modifications done to it, but it could be quite a while.
Yeah,
It's a great question. Thank you.
And Gabby, thank you for asking that. You know, the point that I think Mike is making is the county obviously is an important partner in doing all of this, and hopefully we can continue to work with the county to identify things like that sidewalk as a future construction project. I think before you moved here, the county was very helpful in correcting some of the traffic flow and some of the parking and some of the landscaping issues. So from time to time, as the budget allows, they certainly do come in and make those kinds of improvements. But part of what we try to do with FOVAC is get consensus within the community about priorities. And if the community as a whole makes that a priority for the county, then that'll accelerate getting those kinds of things fixed, because there are lots of conflicting priorities, and you know, it's a lot easier when we speak with one voice. So again, thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Not seeing any other questions, I'm going to thank everyone for participating today. Again, we hope we'll see you again this evening at Vibes in the Village, 6 o'clock. And until then, I wish you all a great day. Bye now.
Bye. Thanks for showing up.